I do not need Trump to tell me that the Nigerian government is complicit in the genocide that has been taking place in the country. I do not require Trump, and I have been saying this consistently for a decade. In the public, in books, in speeches, in essays, there is substantial evidence in the public space to conclusively say that the Nigerian government allows what is happening. So let us be clear. We do not need Trump to tell us that, but he said that in his tweet. I have no choice. I have to follow the truth. I have to agree with him. The Nigerian government allows the genocide because there is indeed a genocide. And I have called it that for at least a decade. I do not require Trump to tell me that there is a genocide going on in Nigeria that the government of Nigeria has allowed.
Now, we have to tell ourselves the truth. I keep saying this, and I will not slow down in telling us the truth. You see, the North is a major problem of itself, especially with a segment of people, certain elites. I tell you that certain northern elites are behind what is ongoing. Now, there's a twist to the narration going on that Donald Trump is coming to wage war against Muslims and that they're coming to steal away our resources. In the first instance, can I ask you, all these years you've been living in Nigeria, how much have you enjoyed the resources of this country? That's the question you ask yourself. They are the ones fueling, they are the ones empowering the bandits. You will see the video that you will watch. You will see the bandits moving around with AK-47, with sophisticated weapon, sponsored by politicians in this country. All right. In one of the videos, you will even hear one of the Fulani men, when they were called for them to surrender and all of that. And he was saying that government was the one that provided these things for them. He said, well, where can an ordinary Fulani man who is used to stick going with his cow have money to go and buy AK-47? These things are deliberate. These things are intentional. And it is not about Donald Trump, threatening that he's coming to war against Muslims. He cannot. He's saying, I am coming after the terrorists. So if now you say that the Muslims are being killed, why don't you open up your arm and say, come and partner with our government and deal with these terrorists? You will see the video that took place just last year or so, if I remember, of the American missionary that was taken by these terrorists, and they demanded 1 million. If not, they will kill him. America sent in their men from America, and they rescued this missionary unhurt. That is just one citizen. How can we be losing tens of thousands and we're politicking, talking all kinds of foolishness and nonsense over the lives of people, blaming, it is not only Christian, it is Muslims also. So are we competing on the number of dates? The reality is that Christians were the first. Christians were being massacred based on their faith. There is a video you're going to see, and I challenged the chief of defense staff who came out to say there is no persecution of Christians in Nigeria. You are a liar. You are a liar. Just look at this video. This is something that happened day before yesterday of a church that was demolished in Maiduguri. Just yesterday. We experienced one some few months ago. And I am asking the Borno State government to act on this matter. We will not take it lightly. We are all citizens in this country. You are living in a land where you as a Christian, you are not at liberty with certain, let me use the word, extremist Islamic worshippers. The killers that are killing the Muslims now, who are they? Are they Jews? Are they Americans? Are they not Muslims? Are they not terrorist Muslims? So why don't the Islamic Council come after them and say, look, it's time we go after people that are destroying our image and destroying our faith? You will never see any Christian attacking any community, not anywhere. Listen to this. I'm going to read it. Gumi tells Tinubu to cut ties with the US if Trump fails to withdraw military threat. Look at this Gumi. Listen to what this Gumi said some time ago on the Guardian News. He said, allow bandits to guard our forests for peace to reign. Shegumi says, allow bandits to guard our forests. So you tell me you don't know the people that are brain behind those bandits, those Fulani killer headsmen? Let me read another one by Pantami, the former minister. Listen to what he said on People's Gazette. He said, Boko Haram terrorists are our Muslim brothers. Shouldn't be killed like pigs, Minister Pantami said. Boko Haram terrorists are our Muslim brothers. Do you hear? Let me read what the Sultan said. The Sultan is the one that is the head of Makban. The Sultan is the head of Mayati Allah. So the Sultan can stop this genocide, this killing, just what happened day before yesterday in Kano. They can stop it. Listen to what Sultan said. You fight Almighty Allah when you fight Boko Haram, Sultan of Sokoto. You fight Almighty Allah when you fight Boko Haram. Now these are the people. And now they're spreading the news around the north that, it is war against Muslims. It is no war against Muslims. The people that are being massacred or killed as Muslims in the far north are people who resist these evil terrorists, evil men. So I will advise President Tinubu, align with President Donald Trump. Let them support you. Let us deal with this matter once and for all. The bloodletting is too much. All right, it's too much. No one Nigeria needs to die. Look at Chad. Chad has blocked our borders. tried and block our borders not to allow these terrorists to enter. We here in Nigeria, we are negotiating with terrorists. We are negotiating. Look at the soldier that we lost now, just day before yesterday, that were escorting a member of the House of Representatives. Look at the one that happened in Niger. Look at the one that happened in Katsina. Why are we just let me use the word, going around and denying the facts? This genocide is real. I have all the documents. I can show you the site. The persecution of Christians in certain locations in the north is real. Let's not deny it. It's real. There are certain universities in the north. A Christian will not be given, the admission to study medicine. You can't build church. This is a land that belongs to all of us. You build church, they come and demolish it. You say there is no persecution. Let's not be lying to ourselves. Sai ranar da muka yadda cewa za mu amshi gaskiya ita ce gaskiya, kuma gaskiya guda ɗaya ce. Kashe nan da yake tafiya, yawancin mutane senators namu, members of the house, governor mu a nan arewa sun sani. Ko sa abin da kuke yi, sultan ya sa abin da yake faruwa. Ya san cewa yana da iko ya siyar da wani abin da yake tafiya. Sai mu zo na muna rudin kanmu cewa America za su zo ta yake musulmai. Ina da ko gani America ta yake musulmai? America tana da base ɗinta a Saudi Arabia. America tana da base ɗinta a United Arab a Qatar. America tana da bases ɗinta a kasan musulmai. Ina ku gani? Abin da shi Donald Trump ce, wayannan ƴan ta'adda za mu zo in ba gwamnatin Najeriya ba za ta yi komai ba, za mu zo mu kashe wayannan mutane. Me kuke nema? Muna nema a cikin ba na kashe mana mutane. Wani rana ne za mu yi hankali a nan arewa. Duk talauci da kenan, duk wahalar jama'a, duk abin da mutane suke fuskanta. Sai a din ana bar malamai suna siye akan pulpit, akan magari, suna ta magana banza kawai. We are kaza nonsense. This evil, you must stop it. You must stop this evil in the north of Nigeria. Let's face the truth, okay? The life of one person, my Muslim brothers, my Christian sisters, whether it is an enemy, is very important. You don't have the right to be killing people to grab their land. Right now, I want to admonish the government of Nigeria, all the communities that have been, the people have been sent away, and the terrorists are living there. Go and prove to Nigerians that you're ready to clean up. Those villages are occupied by the terrorists. You know those places. Let's stop lying to ourselves. And I want to admonish every Nigerian. We must all stand with one voice. The killing of Christians is not glorious. The killing of Muslims is not glorious. But we must face the fact. All of these Islamic clerics that are pouring more fire, deceiving people with deception, we must close them. Nigerian government, you know them. Go after them. Cut them, and then these things will come to an end. They are breeding wickedness and they are breeding terrorists in the form of Al-Najari. Why the moderate Muslims will not be allowed to survive? The moderate Muslims will not be allowed to stand. If they do anything, they come after them and kill them.
So the government must be honest with Nigeria and react to those reports one way or the other. And there is a way in which you also mobilize Nigerians, if you are honest with them, to fight anti-democratic forces. The government must go back to the drawing table. What could have led, haven't listened to those who have been arrested, and then, one way or the other, address the problems. As regards what is going on in the United States, again, yes, the two events, people may want to analyze them, but what is important shown is the fact that Mr. Trump has drawn global attention to a crisis in Nigeria, which is that gunmen are killing citizens in Nigeria. If he try to reduce it to attacks on Christians, that is his own problem. But for us as Nigerians, and for the government has a duty under the Constitution to guarantee the life and property of every person living in Nigeria. If criminal gangs are now in control of force in the country, balance of force in our country is in favor of criminal element, the government must review its own counter-insurgency operations with a view to protecting Nigerians.
It's a straight question I want to start with, and that has to do with whether or not the federal government is really responding to what Donald Trump is saying. I say that to say, yesterday, the Honorable Minister had reeled out, I think, over 10,000 terrorists have been killed, and within that number also arrested and some surrendered, hostages released and all of it, just to show the effort of government to say your narrative may not totally be accurate. Also, the citing of, I think, Section 10 to talk about it's a secular state. No religion is supposed to be predominantly over the other religion. The one had the cabinet member said the president is married to a Christian, so there's no premise, all kinds of responses. But I feel that what is in front of the president of America is the death toll. And in that death toll, perhaps disproportionately tilting against the Christian, which is why he's saying there's a genocide act or we will act. So do you think the government is really responding to what Donald Trump is saying?
Thank you very much for that question. I think first and foremost, there are a lot of people who are having differing views about what is happening and the mission statement from Donald Trump to intervene in Nigeria. And for most people, it's because Donald Trump says there is Christian genocide. Perhaps they don't like those two words, Christian genocide. So perhaps for the sake of analysis and for us to achieve unity of purpose, let us say there is, let's take out Christian genocide out of it, but look at the human losses. The human losses are enormous. And I mean, I'm not trying to say there has not been targeted Christian attacks, because if you look at the Owo church massacre, you look at Balom in Benue, Ayetwa in Benue, you look at Madala, these were specific attacks against Christian communities. Because like Owo, they came into the town, a sprawling town, there are banks, there are businesses, other concerns, they never went to them, they never attacked them, they went straight to a church, attacked the church, and left. If that is not a targeted attack, I wonder what it is. But what I'm saying is that if that is what is generating controversy, let us keep it aside and look at the human losses. Nigerians are being killed, are being slaughtered in their hundreds. The very recent one is in Yewata, where these people came to a sleeping community, and all they were doing was that they break open a door, throw petrol into the room, and set the room on fire. So that everything in the room, children, women, pregnant, nursing mothers, defenseless men, were all incinerated. And this thing went on for hours without any intervention from the security forces. And then and they were allowed to go. You know, so if you look at this kind of situation, which appears as if the Nigerian security architecture is not on top of protecting the citizens, then that is the conversation that we should be having. Because in the past few days, we have now come to hear that bandits and terrorists are fleeing Nigeria, which has led to reports that Chad and even Cameroon are locking their borders. I mean, for the mere fact that these bad guys are afraid of the American military and they are now taking flight just by the American president saying we are coming, whereas they were comfortably settled in Nigeria in places that even the military calls ungoverned spaces, is something that the president as commander-in-chief must think about. He must call his commanders and ask them, why are these bandits and terrorists not afraid of you guys? But they have started to run away just by American forces being said to be programmed to come. I think it's something that we really need to look at. So why should we go to the international community to put all sorts of explanations out to say there is no Christian genocide and all of that? We cannot say there has not been killings and mass killings in Nigeria. And the response that Nigeria needs to give to that is to stop it. Is to stop the killings. It's not about giving statistics of 10,000 terrorists or so haven't been killed. In Nigeria today, if the bandits and the terrorists that attacked Yelewata come back tonight, is there anything in place to stop them? That is the big question we have to answer. And Nigeria just needs to put that in place. Otherwise, I think the rhetoric is not going to serve any purpose.
One of the questions I've asked my guests is, so what in the immediate term will be the drastic reaction that would deter the American armies from heading in this direction as well? Because the argument here is that perhaps perhaps the American government is not necessarily saying it's a state-backed targeted attacks on Christians, but perhaps the docility of the state, quote and unquote, or conspiracy of silence, as he said in some part, or insufficient reaction to deter whoever they are killing, Christians or Muslim, is what the Americans are saying. They chose their own part to say Christian genocide. You know, at the end of the day, the persons are saying, look, we just want this jet to stop. That is what everybody wants, whether you are for the word or you're against it. So drastically, what has to happen for the Americans to say, we ain't coming? I think we've seen some effort.
I think I agree with you totally. We shouldn't try to minimize what is happening by going into this controversy as to whether there is Christian genocide or not. Like I said, let's pack that. Let's look at the human losses. The human losses by Christians, by Muslims, by atheists, by Nigerians. We don't feel safe. We don't feel safe. Even our leaders don't feel safe. If you look at a typical convoy of a Nigerian leader, it's as if they are going to a war zone. This convoy is going to have gun trucks, with the military guarding them, but we Nigerians, the ordinary citizens, don't feel that safe. So what must the president, as commander-in-chief of the armed forces, do to stop the American mission to Nigeria? Is for our military and the police and the other security agencies, including the intelligence community, to give us value for money. These people have been getting the highest chunk of the budget year in, year out, and yet the insecurity is increasing. You will expect that the quantum of budget and the level of insecurity should have a negative variation, meaning as we pump more money into security, insecurity should be going down. But it seems to be the other way around. As more money is being pumped into the security architecture, the incidents of insecurity are rising. And I think Mr. President's body language is not comforting. And how do I mean? Mr. President was asked at a television interview that your predecessor, President Buhari, probed the military hierarchy. Are you going to do the same? And Mr. President said, no, he's not going to probe them. In his words, he said that would be disrespecting the institution. And I think that kind of body language from the president is counterproductive. He should put the military architecture and other security agencies on the spot. They must deliver value to Nigerians. Nigerians must feel safe. We should be able to conduct business in Nigeria without a fear of our lives. You know, one of the criteria to determine whether a state is failing or failed is the inability of the state to protect the citizens, and the possibility of the presence of armed groups taking territory in Nigeria. As we speak today, there are armed groups that have taken territory in Nigeria. They are running their own governments. They are collecting taxes from the residents. And Nigeria does not have control over our borders. These people come in and go out. These are clear signs of a state that is failing. And so to stop the American mission, the president has to show real competence that these things are going to stop.
You know, I always reference the fact that those of us who live in the city center, Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, we may not understand the enormity of what the locals in the hinterlands are dealing with. So for them, whether they are in on the path to hindering economic exploitation, and so they become disposables in the eyes of these miscreants and these enemies of state. For them, and they are within the Christian enclave, for them, whoever has to come and save them is inconsequential. Whatever is the long-term impact, because we know how it ends when America shows up in any territory. It never ends well. There could be that short-term gain and eventually the long-term impact. So my question is, for the locals, what kind of movement do they need to see from the government of Nigeria to reassure them that they will be protected? I can dare to say that even if it's the worst form of rescue or salvation that comes through for them to stop the killing, they don't really care. But what can the government do to reassure them that, look, we really care? Because for them, government doesn't care. So America can come and gun blazing and blow up everywhere.
I fully align with what you have said. In a social media post, I said that if a gun is put to my head and I'm to choose between my life or sovereignty of Nigeria, I will choose my life, of course. And you know, someone posted on social media and said that he will prefer to die in the hands of American soldiers than to die in the hands of cheap bandits and terrorists. And this is the mood that Nigerians have. It doesn't matter to Nigerians. We just want this thing to stop. So if the Nigerian state has shown incapability and incompetence, if I would like to put it that way, over the years to protect Nigerians, and we now have situations where Nigerians can be taken hostage and no help comes to them, then we can take help from anywhere. It doesn't matter. We just want to be alive. Because without life, what else can happen? But then I want to pass a message to the Nigerian security architecture. We have a chief of defense staff, a 4-star general who is in office now. He's possibly listening to us. And we have the service chiefs. We have a full architecture of the tri-service of the military. We have the police, the civil defense. We have the intelligence community. We can't continue doing the same thing and expecting different results. Nobody does security in the modern world as Nigeria is doing. There is no way you can secure the nation when you disperse your troops at checkpoints all over the nation, where you are not adopting technology, where you don't have things like a fingerprint data bank. Look, when you are appointed the chief of defense staff, you cannot come and see security by roadblocks with firewood on the road and then leave. No, you must change it. You must say, no, we're not going to do this. Instead of dispersing these security men all over the country, we are going to demobilize all the roadblocks. We are going to put these security men in super camps so that they themselves are protected. Because when you leave them at that checkpoint, you have left them vulnerable, because anybody can come there and kill them and take their arms. But if you demobilize them from the road and put them into super camp, so that if there's an incident, they can then respond to that incident, deal with it, and return to their fortified super camp. And that will be also technology. How can you have a police inspector general who does not have an emergency number for citizens to report intelligence and crime? A simple thing like a 999 number, Nigeria does not have. So if you're an IG, you should be thinking about that. We don't have a fingerprint database. You know, with fingerprint database, if a crime happens, they will come and then take the fingerprint, put it in the database, and they know who was in that place. We don't have CCTVs in our cities. These are the kind of things that security elsewhere are using to be able to stop crime, or if crime happens, they're able to track the perpetrators very quickly. And Nigeria cannot be doing the same thing every year, year in, year out. How can these roadblocks help us in terms of securing the nation?
Well said. I think at the end of the day, we're all saying the same thing differently. I think what is unacceptable is to deny what is going on, which sometimes we see in certain places. You know, if the reality of the persons who are affected, I say we are Christians, we are targeted, that is their reality. You can't dismiss it. But as you said, it's about human beings, whether they are Christians or Muslims or whether they believe in anything or they don't believe. As long as they are citizens, our government has a responsibility to protect them. That is what is expected. Nick Agule is public affairs and policy analyst. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program. I appreciate it.
Did you listen to that? Very good. You see, I have said this before many times. I said this issue will open a lot of secrets. That is even more important. It will expose a lot of things so that people, the whole world, can see what is going on in Nigeria and know people who are responsible for this evil that they are committing in this country. It will open a lot of secrets. It gives opportunity to people to spill out their anger. Then they will say one or two things because people have been keeping quiet. A lot of people know what is going on, but they just do not want to talk because they are scared. And again, now that the rumors everywhere, they have already submitted the bill in the US to sanction the politician or the terrorist imams who are involved in this in the sponsoring of this bandit, who are sponsoring them. That's another problem. And a lot of things. So this one will make a lot of people spill out their anger, reveal a lot of things, so that if the USF come, a lot of persons will have opportunity to reveal information to the military intelligence. When in our own army, even if you reveal some secrets to them, they don't do anything with it, or even you don't even need to report to them. Say they know what is happening, but because they can't really do nothing, because everything is politics, because these people are too powerful, they can't do nothing. That's the reason why why Boko Haram banditry we first of all report that they are going to strike. They will not alert the security, taking notice that, hey, see what is going on, see what is coming. They said they are coming to strike, yet they refuse to do something. They refuse to prevent it. Exactly the day and the time they said they were going to strike in that village, they reported they went there on that same day. That is the level of sea finish. Now people are saying there is no killing. And the major thing, this man said, if it happens now, this set of people who went to Benue Yewata to buy those hundreds of people, then if they come back to the same community or another community of which they have been doing, do we even have the equipment, the material, the security even needed to prevent it? Can we even stop it? No. If one happens, they take proactive action measures to that, and it never happens again. That's when you will know that, oh, that happens as a result of mistakes. They were not well informed. It happens. Not that it has happened, they do not want it to happen again. They are not everywhere. They are not everywhere. You dare not do it again. If you do it, you get punishment of these offenses you are committing. But there's nothing like that. Now, how many persons has been accused one way or the other allegedly? Now, this is not even allegedly now. For you to know, even the Sultan of Sokoto, he is the one. He is the leader of this. As far as the Northerner is concerned now, he is the leader of this their group as the Sultan of Sokoto. How can a Sultan of Sokoto? You said your people. They say they say Muslim. They are killing Muslims. They say bandits, different groups. Which is bandit, they are killing Muslims, they are killing Christians. How dare can the Sultan of Sokoto issue a statement saying that if you kill one Boko Haram, you kill all the whole Northerners? How? And do you think that person now truly want this problem solved? Do you think he want this issue end? No, he doesn't. I don't think so. How can the late Buhari then said, if you kill one Fulani, you kill all the whole Fulani. Therefore, you dare not kill one Fulani. Even if they are terrorists, you see them, they are with weapons. As far he is Fulani man, you dare not buy the Fulani now. How? We live in the same country. So people are saying there is no killing. We don't want to, okay, no. If there is no Christian genocide, those killing, what do you call them? Fine. there's no Christian genocide, but there is killing in the country. What effort have you put in place? What have you done to make sure it does not happen again? It's not just by say it. It's not by issuing a statement with your mouth. We need action. Do you understand? We need action. So if the US come, let them help us. A lot of secrets will be revealed to them later. See, this problem just started. You are going to hear a lot of things, especially when the US now came. When they came, whether they are able to solve the problem at once or not, at least I believe they will. Maybe they will establish their military base in some areas, right? And if they went back, then you are going to hear a lot. They are going to reveal a lot of secrets. Now, this is their experience in Nigeria. Their experience in Nigeria. So that one alone will tell you the major problem we are having. Reasons why the security are not able to solve this problem, because it's not a business for them. This military we are talking about, they cannot really do a lot. They can't do nothing because they know these people. They are working in hand to hand. Do you understand? So how can you before people they hide, do these things now? They hide, carry out this evil activity. You know this. The law is against it. What you are doing, it is not right. Right? So people will have to do it for one reason or the other, best known to them. But now they don't even hide again. They don't hide. They don't come during the night. They come during the day to carry out this killing. They are not hiding. That is the level of safety that they have. They don't see the leader, the military, the security personnel, or the security agencies. They don't see them finish that these people cannot do anything. They have captured them, or they are all together, working together. That they will pass so many military bases and go anywhere they want to go to bomb. Nothing is happening to them. You see them showing their faces. We see them with a motorcycle, okadas every time, going here and there with fooling with weapons. We say this thing does. No, nah. The power given to these people is too much. Nah, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. We just, like I've said, we need to just get out of this denial. Stop denying every time that this never happened. This never happened. What are we talking about? We know them. I'm just interested that these people come because a lot of persons that have been mentioned so far allegedly in connection or sponsoring these people. This will be opportunity for the whole world to know the problem we are going through. For those of us who do not understand the people behind or the sponsor before, then this will be an opportunity again for you to see them, for you to know that, oh, this is the reason. This is the reason. It can't work. How can you force your religion on us, on another religion? How can you force people to accept your religion, but you don't want to accept other religions? You want them to accept you. How can you say you want to Islamize this country, this big country? We are not talking about these small countries in the world that they don't have different tribes. That the population of Muslim is more than the Christian in the small country. They don't have many tribes. They speak one language. Then that would be easy for you to manipulate, to say, okay, you want to introduce, replace the law with Sharia law. It's not going to work. This should stop. How can you say you want to Islamize this country, big as Nigeria? You want to Islamize the country, replace the existing law with the Sharia law. So even if you are not a Christian, you are not a Muslim, so no. That's what they are trying to do, but it's not going to work. How many people are you going to buy so that you remain only Muslim? Before it gets to that time, nobody have monopoly of violence. Before it gets to that time, that means it has to be war Christian versus Muslim. We don't want it to get to that stage. That's why it has to stop now. It must stop. Donald Trump, anything he can do come to make sure this problem is solved. Especially these people must be punished of their offenses. Any of them who is found guilty, who is one way or the other in supporting connection, in supporting or financing this group, one way or the other, they should be sanctioned. They should be punished. They should be punished for that. Anyways, what do you think? Please share this video and please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy. I don't know for me now.